Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the Wyoming house. It is Friday morning around 10 o'clock. So you can see a different hat, different sweatshirt, different day, different story. Anyway, smoking my Wyoming Meerschaum as always. And I've got some Ken Byron Ventures Burley Morning Pipe. It's probably one of my top one or two tobaccos. I love it in the morning with my black coffee. Pairs well. I am happy to report that I'm done. I'm off the saw. The 50-foot buffer is complete around my entire property. All the trees are either in little piles or have been chained. I've got logging chained them into the piles. I have one on the east side across the creek, and I have one on the west side of about 100 yards out. So it's all done. So I'm going to change now. So I've gone from slight panic mode to prep mode for the last 2 weeks, and today I'm changing. I'm downshifting now, and I'm going to go into cruise mode. In fact, I'm probably going to take today off. My body's pretty sore after a little over 2 weeks of this. So, but I'm done. I'm off the chain. I'm off the chainsaw. I'm off the ladders. I'm off the janky 3 tow ropes plus 2 logging chains to get the truck connected to pull the trees the right way. That's all done. So the big logs that I've chained off the buffer, I'm not going to deal with this year. I'll deal with them, probably next summer, next fall. Um, they'll all get limbed. They'll all get bucked into what we call coins, and then I don't know if I'll split them next year or not, but I'll go buy a splitter. I might do that in the next few weeks as we come to the end of the season here. Imagine I'll be able to pick up a nice splitter for clearance price, either from a store here in Jackson or from like Northern Tool or something like that. And then I'll just store it over the winter, and next spring, summer, winter, fall, do some splitting. So I think there's probably about 10 cords laying on the ground. So anyway, so the next couple of weeks will be moving piles off the lawn, off the property, and towards the back. I've got a fire pit, and I'll pile it up. It'll be a giant ring around the fire pit because it's way too dry to burn. I mean, I might burn in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see what the weather does. Um, but if it just sits there all winter, that's fine. I'll deal with the coins and the burning, next spring when we melt out. So it's just good though. It feels good. We're to have that project done. So I feel about as ready as I can be. Other than getting the ground piles off the lawn. But as far as the firemen have no problem with the piles, they said they can ground fight the fires if it gets into the piles. So I've typed this up in a comment to anybody who's given me comments, but for those who watch and don't comment, I've got a 50-foot buffer now cleared completely around the house. I'm going to show that to you. I've got the entire 10 acres is soggy, sopping, soupy wet from running the irrigation system, at max for every day for the last 2-3 weeks. So the ground, I mean, I don't think the ground could catch fire right now. I've got hoses deployed front and back so I can deal with ash fall or ember fall if that becomes needed. We've got the fireproof roof on the house. Just we're as ready as we can be. So we pay attention to the Forest Service, and we pay attention to the local fire department. We pay attention to the county emergency office, every day at least once, but sometimes twice a day. So I think we're literally as ready as we can be. It's really kind of up to God and what He wants to do with the fire at this point, and that does feel really good, I have to admit. So the next time I'm going to show you sort of what I did yesterday. It's like a 3-4 minute video. I show you the final tree. I had it limbed and I drug it out. I logging chained it out to the pile. So I show you how big that last tree was, and then I show you my east end stack of trees that really just came off this very end of the house here. And then I walk you completely around the house and show you the 50-foot buffer on all four sides. So I'm gonna shut up and show you that, and then we'll come back and talk. All right, the last big guy is down. I had to limb him to drag this beast, but it's down. It's in my other pile. I showed you the pile on my west end the other day, so this is my east end pile. This is where all those trees went that were right up against the house on the far side. So this guy was a beast, so I just completely limbed him and drug him over here. So I got some mud tracks that I've made over the last few days. Beat myself a path into the woods here. So while I was limbing the big beasts to get them draggable, this is the pile I created. It's pretty substantial. It's almost as tall as me. I'll walk you down to the creek. And look at this. How beautiful is that? All the trees are down and nothing in the creek. That is success. All right, the last saw job was to, in order to try to save this tree, just limit up about 15, 18 feet. So got up on the big ladder, cut down. Obviously I got a lot of crap to clean up out of it, along with the other piles, but it's good. All right, guys, we're just gonna do a 360 walk around the house now that the fire buffer project is 100% complete. I think those three right there are officially more like 30 feet from the house, but I'm not cutting them down this year unless they tell me to. So I got all the piles. Pile pickup will begin tomorrow. Here's the back of the house. You can see how far out those trees are. You can see all my piles back here, but you can see that nice clear buffer. Except for this tree. Nothing between the pond and the house, which is pretty critical. Show you the property. So you can see all the irrigation sprinklers running out on the back 40. So you can see the back of the house is nice and clear. This is the side the fire would be coming from, right over that hill. You can see the master bedroom side of the house is nice and clear, no trees on this side of the creek. I got some debris I need to clean up. I should cut those ground stumps, but might not happen this year. Around to the front of the house. The closest trees are over 50 feet away and on the other side of the driveway. So nice completed project. So as we talk about the sun and the aurora borealis, as most of you probably know, we had 2 huge X-class solar flares that actually are hitting the earth, one last night and more today, and it's generating solar storms here on earth, and we're able to see the aurora much further south than normally. And my wife on our horse farm in Maryland caught some great pictures last night, so I just put, I'm going to show you 3 that she caught last night. I mean, I was really proud of her that she got out there and that she got some really good pictures. She actually got all 3 of these with her iPhone, if you can believe it. So here they are. All right, we'll do a quick fire update for you. Today they're predicting, so they did a huge town meeting last night, and so they're predicting a really bad day today weather-wise. The relative humidity's down below 20%. The winds are supposed to pick up to 30, 40 miles an hour. So they expect the fire to have a lot of fire activity, as they briefed it last night. Supposedly, the meteorologist that briefed said this may be the last rough day we have weather-wise. There's rain predicted on next Wednesday and snow predicted next Friday. He admits that weather predictions 5, 6, 7 days out are tricky. So I don't know if he's trying to inject hope into all the citizens that were in the room. I don't really know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens today. We'll see what happens as we get out a week from today. So the fire is basically a giant round clock. Way out on the east side, the opposite side from the side facing me is where they have most of their assets focused. That's where I guess the fire is the biggest. It is encroaching on people's homes, subdivisions, businesses, and they're worried it could actually crawl into the town of DuBois. So they've got most of their assets focused over there. On our side, the side that faces me directly, the biggest threat is the northwest quadrant, and they say that is the quietest quadrant, and they are basically have it in monitor status. They're just watching it. They just don't have the assets to put on it right now. And then just south of that quadrant, the west quadrant, is where the fire is kind of looking like it's going to come over the top of the ridge and start heading down sort of this way, but a little bit south of me by a couple miles. And they are deploying assets there they're actually cutting fire breaks around ranch houses and cabins. They're deploying sprinklers, hoses, water pumps, in anticipation of the fire crawling over the top. So it hasn't done it yet. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. So what they said this morning was that they hope to get control of the east side of the fire and start deploying assets to the northwest and the west quadrants, which will make me feel better since that's the one that faces me. But so far, so good. We haven't seen a lot of fire advancement towards this house, this location. So, I'll take that as feeling good. So that's our fire update for the day. I think this will be my last logging update, fire prep update, and fire update unless something really changes. I think I need to end this video with a cute little story from last night. So by the time I leave Jackson and head home, it's a 33, 35 mile drive. And it's usually dark. I usually leave town by 7:30 at the latest, but it's dark by then. And so it's really a 33 mile, 35 mile drive through the wilderness to get back to the house. And when I got within about a mile or two of the house, I'm driving along basically a little private road, and there was a little tree. And by a little tree, I mean maybe this big around. It was laying across the road. And so I could have driven over the very tip of it and kept going, but I said, well, I'll go ahead and stop, get out of the truck, throw the tree aside. And when I stopped the truck and opened the door and got out of the truck, and I was really reaching down to grab it, and the next tree over on the hill, there was a beaver chewing on the next tree. So the beaver had dropped this tree, and he's getting ready to drop the next little one. So I decided I'd leave him alone. I ended up driving over the end of the tree. I just left it there for him to carry off to wherever he's building his home or his dam, and just left him alone. He was a black beaver on a dark night, and so I really didn't get a video of it, so I just have a talking head story for you. But thought that was kind of a cute wilderness story, Where else do you get that kind of thing? So that was pretty fun to see. All right, guys, that wraps up the Friday morning video. That's I'm going to try and have fun today. Take Tasha for a walk, take her for a hike along the creek, let her have a little bit of fun. And then I just got errands to do, things I got to get done that I've let pile up for the last couple of weeks. And then head into town, see my boys, have some fun, get back here tonight. So, guys, I think this is it. If not later today, we'll definitely talk sometime tomorrow. Hope you're having a good Friday. Hope you got a good weekend in front of you guys. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody.